Good afternoon. I call to order the regular board meeting, GCC, March the 10th, 2026, 4:45 p.m. Roll call. Mr. Mark Anderson.
Here.
Mr. Harry Brock.
Absent.
Mr. Bruce Mandrick.
Present.
Mr. Jack Turner.
Present.
Lily Campbell, present. All board members present and accounted for, one absent. All right. I am speechless, and that's hard for me. But I look out and I see so many wonderful faces. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Do we have any public comments?
We have no public comments.
No public comments. So with that, I welcome all of you and thank you for being here, Cabinet. Thank you for being here. Board members, thank you. And all of our guests and our speakers tonight. So thank you. We have an exciting board meeting ready and planned for you. So we are now ready to go. And with that, I will give the superintendent's update to our superintendent.
Okay.
Mrs. Sample.
Thank you, Madam President and members of the board. Good evening to you and good evening to everyone. We want to take this opportunity to welcome you to our board meeting tonight. I want to start off by first acknowledging and wishing all of our women, our female leaders within the organization, outside the organization, our moms and others in the room, happy Women's History Month. It also was International Women's Day. We are so appreciative of everything that you do and your leadership within our organization, outside of our organization, and the care that you provide to all of us. So thank you to our women. I also want to recognize that National School Social Worker Week was March the 1st through the 7th, and our social workers, as many of you know, they play a critical and key role in ensuring that our students have support and they have the tools that they need to be successful. So if you get an opportunity to see your social worker, please thank them. I also just kind of want to highlight a few things. Throughout February, all of our schools celebrated Black History Month in various ways across our various campuses. To conclude, our Black History Month Futures High School and HLA partnered to host a family celebration, and then the following day, HLA continued the recognition with Sacramento Heroes Assembly. And Dr. G and the team welcomed Black leaders from across our community to speak to our students about their journey. Dr. G, it was just a exciting, loud event. Thank you. You may see the picture up there of our guest, and I'll just stop there for 2 seconds. Dr. G, can you just share with us who you had there? Yeah, just give me the mic.
The red
There's a
button.
button. Pick one. There you go.
And by the way, she did not know I was going to do this. Nope, just press it once.
You know, Superintendent Sample and the board, it was an honor to celebrate Black History Month by inviting some people that have grown up in our inner city, in our Sacramento, Del Paso Heights, Vallejo areas, and I'm saying those words so that you get the hint. None of us were raised with a lot of money, but working class families went to college and made it well for ourselves. So we had Scott Galbraith, Super Bowl winner with the Dallas Cowboys and currently chaplain for the Sacramento Kings. Next to him, we had Dante Early, Councilwoman West Sacramento and current CEO of the United Way. We have Courtney Dempsey, anchor for Good Day Sacramento, went to Sacramento State University but grew up in Vallejo. We have Alana Matthews, attorney. She ran for county district attorney and almost won. Very proud of her. We have myself in the pink, all right. And then next thing we have Tracy Humphrey, again, another anchor woman. She's been on all the networks, CBS, ABC, all of them. Next to her, we have Tijuana Barnes, president of the Sacramento chapter of the NAACP. And as we know, back in the 50s, when segregation was ended, it was the NAACP that sponsored Thurgood Marshall and everyone, and now we are not segregated to this day. Next to that, we have Rick Jennings, another Super Bowl winner. He's an OG. That's from 1977 with the Raiders, current council member, I believe, Region 7. And next to that, we have our lovely board president, and we have our superintendent. It was a pleasure. The kids had a great time, and I hope to continue that tradition.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. G. So just continuing with some great things that were happening on March 11th or some point in there, I was invited to serve as a judge for Mrs. Mostova's biomedical class at Futures High School. The students concluded their Anna Garcia case closed investigation and presentation with a full courtroom hearing. I will tell you, it was very impressive to hear the evidence that our students presented as part of their case closing, as they defended their case. And the judge, they made him not only wear a robe, but he had to wear a wig for the British type. So Director Turner, I thought about, theater and, I feel I have a future somewhere, maybe as a TV judge. But really want to affirm Mrs. Mostova for really, the class was just impressive to hear our young people. At our February SAC meeting, our students provided input and finalized their recommendations for the updated phone policy. To align with the California Phone Free Act, and that policy now will move to our administrators and then eventually to the board. So again, board, as I shared with you before, we really wanted this policy to have a lot of input from students as well as staff, and so that will be coming to you. Last week, we celebrated Read Across America Week across all of our campuses. I had the opportunity to read in several of our classrooms, either virtually or in person. I was joined by our board president, Ms. Campbell, who joined me at GIS and CCCS High School. By the way, Angie, we had a moment where I neglected to bring my computer glasses, and so one of the teachers gave me their glasses to pick up and read, so I kind of have these bubbled eye, Harry Potter looking glasses, but yeah, there's pictures, but it really worked. I just want to give a few affirmations. One to our coordinator, Ms. Paulina, in our community engagement department for her work to help coordinate all of this and getting our people out there. I also want to thank our readers from SMUD. Franklin Burris, who is also a CBAC member, went there. We had representatives from the Sac State President's Office who came and read. And then you'll see in this picture, we had Dr. Lisa Cardoza from American River College. She came out and she read to students at COA. So again, so many people. And then our central office staff. It was really special to have all of them going out to be on our campuses. So just want to thank everyone as we continue our work to promote literacy. Last week, I had the opportunity with Assistant Superintendent Takoy and Chief Learning Officer Dr. Gold to attend the COA Middle School International Women's Day celebration. The student performances were outstanding as always, and I think the highlight was when I saw Dr. Diego playing guitar with the students as they were singing. So it was really nice to spend some time there. Had the opportunity to attend the February 26th GIS Family Literacy Night, which was a fun, exciting time. It was a kind of escape room thing. Families worked together to solve the literacy and to crack the code, and there was a mystery reader that may have looked like a unicorn. And then a couple final things is, last month, we had a number of our team members who attended the California Charter Schools Association Annual Conference. We were not only there as attendees, but there as presenters. I had the opportunity to co-present a session on strategic planning, as well as to co-lead a networking breakfast on the power of Black leadership in education. Assistant Superintendent Elliott also did a couple of presentations alongside our authorizer at Elk Grove Unified on DOS, and then also on the community schools. And then Dr. Gold and her team also participated and did a presentation, again, with one of our educational partners. In addition, Mr. Tarakoff, who you're going to hear from later, also led and participated in a panel on immigration. And so, again, really happy to have the full force of the GCC team at the conference. Futures High School recently concluded and hosted their WASP visit. It really was a great opportunity to not only reflect, but self-reflection, learning. Board President and I had the opportunity to meet for the governance part of the visit with the committee, and so I'm quite sure she'll share more in hers, so I'm going to stop on that one and not share anything else. And then finally today, we held our annual executive leadership meeting with Twin Rivers Unified. This is kind of the culminating of their oversight process for this year. Extremely important meeting, thought it went very well. Met with their consultant and also their lead, and so we'll look forward to bringing back to the board, as we did last year, the final report, so that, again, we kind of transparently close the loop. And then, board, just want to give you a heads up on a few upcoming events. We have March 19th, our Math Bowl, March 19th through 20th, excuse me, at the COA Theater. So come on out, mathletes. We have our Portraits of Promise. This is our breakfast that really is looking to this is the first ever that we're going to kind of do a state of the GCC breakfast, but an opportunity to highlight our students, highlight our programs, and really let, I think, our community know that we are fulfilling our promise that we made 3 years ago when we started our Portrait of a Graduate. So looking forward to our Portrait of Promise. Board, you have a flyer that is within your materials. This will be held May 1st, 9 to 11 at Lionsgate Hotel, doors open at 8:30. Then our annual Innovators Fair will be May 2nd, 9 to 2 at the California Railroad Museum. So again, you definitely want to come out, and then, believe it or not, I'm going to say these words, our end-of-year celebration is almost here. So that would be May 15th at the Citrus Heights Community Center. So that is the superintendent's report tonight.
Okay, board members, let's get ready for the end of the year activities. They're coming very, very fast. Any comments? Any questions from board members? Hearing none, seeing none, thank you, Mr. Superintendent, for your work and your report, and we are very busy, as you can see. And we have a lot of people here, so we're going to move on into the recognition. We're running out of chairs. Here's some, here, with the few up here. So with that, Mr. Superintendent, I will give it back to you so we can recognize our winter sports activities.
Okay. Thank you, Madam President. So tonight we are bringing forward our GCC Winter Sports Recognition, and I'm going to let Assistant Superintendent Takoy take it from here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're excited to honor the winners of our GCC Winter Sports League. So I'd like to invite Andrew Lincoln to come up and join me. Andrew is our activities director, not just for Futures High School sports, but for all of our TK through 8th grade sports. So we have 4 different sports that we offer: flag football, volleyball, basketball, and soccer. And Andrew does a great job organizing these events, and today he's going to introduce our winners for our basketball league.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I would like to take a few minutes to recognize and celebrate our GCC Winter Sports Basketball Champs. This season was a great example of what GCC athletics should look like. Competition, teamwork, growth, outstanding sportsmanship across from all our school sites. First, I would like to congratulate our elementary school champs, COA. COA coached by Coach Victor, I might mess up on some of the names, Alicia and Coach Michael. Their team demonstrated great effort, teamwork, enthusiasm throughout the season. It was exciting to watch these young athletes compete, improve their skills, and represent their school with pride. Once again, let's give COA a hand. Next, I would like to recognize our middle school girls champs, HLA. HLA, their team, they played with tremendous determination, composure throughout the season. Their success was a reflect not only to their hard work on the court, but also the leadership and guidance from their coaches and school community. Let's give it up for HLA girls. Finally, congratulations to our middle school boys basketball champs, also from HLA. Middle school team coached by Mr. Harris. They had an outstanding season and competed at a very high level. Their teamwork, discipline, and commitment to the game were evidenced throughout the playoffs and championship. Once again, let's give it up for HLA boys. While we celebrate these championship teams, I also want to acknowledge all the schools that participated in the GCC League this winter. Every team, coach, and school site played an important role in making the season successful. I want to sincerely thank all the schools for demonstrating the utmost level of sportsmanship, respect, and integrity throughout the season. The positive culture is what makes our league special for our student athletes. Also like to recognize and thank our school administrators for the continued support to athletics. Your encouragement and commitment to student activities make opportunities like this possible for our students. And finally, I would like to give a special thanks to, I don't know if she's in here, but Ashley Cowell, for all the hard work she does behind the scenes to help make the GCC League organized and run smoothly. Your support and dedication are truly appreciated, and our league will not operate without your efforts. On behalf of everyone involved, thank you again for supporting our student athletes and continued success for the GCC athletic programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. So with that, we'd like to have the schools come up and take a picture with you, one school at a time. We do have awards for them, certificates for them that they'll receive when they get back to their site. But today it'll be just a picture with our board, with their school administrators, with the players. So we'd like to invite our COA elementary team to come up first with Principal Gonchar and her vice principals and the coaches. And if you're a COA student from the elementary league, can you go up this ramp right here and have your picture taken? Congratulations, COA. Okay, board members, wait just a minute. We'll let COA come back down.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your sportsmanship.
Thank you.
COA. And now we'll invite HLA Girls Middle School Team, girls champions this year, to join us on the stage with their principal, Dr. Galbraith.
Now, girls, you know Futures has a girls basketball team, right? Yeah. Next. Are we making plans to get ready to go to Futures? All right, our whole small team, let's just get out. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, girls don't go far. We want to take your pictures with the boys after we take the boys, okay? And HLA boys, if you can come on up. Congratulations, middle school HLA team.
Oh, that's all right. One more.
Come on, boys.
HLA boys, middle school.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, good job.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
They're taller than all of them.
Where are you?
Gentlemen, you know Futures has a basketball team. Yeah. Okay.
You ready?
We don't need it.
Yeah, right there is good. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now stay right there.
Okay, girls, if you want to head back up, HLA girls, we'll get all of you together.
Thank you, Darren. Oh, wait a minute. Come on over, come on. Come on, so you can be seen.
We can make it work.
Yeah, that's good. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you guys.
Congratulations to our winners and all of our participants in our Winter Basketball League. Thank you.
Right on.
Before you leave, we are dismissing you so you can go home and study for tomorrow. But parents, may I see the hands of parents or relatives who are here with the students? Are you, oh great, thank you, grandmother, come on, raise your hand, I've already met you. Thank you guys so much for being here with your students. We really appreciate it.
So sorry, I had to raise my hand as a parent.
Oh yes, that's true.
I did have a kid here.
Where is that child? I know, there she is.
To her principal.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
Somebody keep her in line.
Somebody keep her line. Poor baby, she has to stay till the end.
Yeah, now that baby has to stay.
That baby has to stay.
Have to stay here.
Oh, we're gonna send her to the office, let her go in and. All right. Thank you so much. Principals, parents, students, we're so glad you came tonight. This afternoon, it's not night yet, is it? No, not yet. Okay. So with that, we are going to move into our very next study session. And that is, you want to bring that one in?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Madam President. Tonight, we have Sergey Terekov with us, who is going to give the board an update on our immigration and refugee families and the supports that we have been doing. As the board knows, Sergey is a retiree, but he also serves as the president of the Slavic American Chamber, and in his other role, kind of has served as an advisor to me and to the work that we continue to do to ensure that we serve our families and our community well. So with that being said, Sergey.
Thank you.
Dear GCC Board, President Campbell, Superintendent Sample, thank you for this opportunity to come back here and share some information with you guys. And I'd like to start with really thanking you for your strong commitment and hard work, as well as, obviously our cabinet and leadership, GCC, to the strong commitment and hard work to help refugee and immigrant families. And that's what really attracted me initially to Gateway Community Charters, because, I saw how many people Gateway was serving. And with that, kind of like became a big passion of mine. And, if you recall, a while back, I think it was about approximately a year ago, I came to this board with, with update on what's going on with the current situation with United for Ukraine program. But also, I'd like to highlight that a lot of our families, in addition to U4U, and I'm going to show you some numbers on the next couple of slides, we have a large number of people that came from neighboring countries such as Russia, Belarus, some Baltic countries, Kazakhstan. They came as a result of this political turmoil, the war that happened back in February of 22. And we enrolled over 1,000 students during that period, during those 4 years, and I also have a slide about our current enrollment. But just quick reminder, United for Ukraine, also known as U4U, is a humanitarian program, a parole program, so to speak. So there's no direct passage to permanent residency from it. It's just a temporary status. So that was adopted by President Biden and his administration back in April of 22, and primarily serves citizens of Ukraine. There's some other categories. They really had to live in Ukraine as permanent residents to be eligible for this program. And then, unfortunately, as of January of 25 of last year, this program was suspended, so there's no new people coming in. And there's some interesting situation with the folks that are already here, which I'm going to touch on the next slide. But right now we have roughly 240,000 Ukrainian nationals that are currently in the United States under this program. So the Ukrainians, their parole is basically kind of turning out. A lot of them past that 2-year mark. So it's a 2-year initial parole to come to the country. So in order for them to stay legally, they have to do one of the two things. So one, they can file for temporary protective status, which gives them approximately 6 to 12 month permission to stay in U.S., or they can apply for a reparole or file another parole application while they're here to extend the parole for 2 years. And then also, another implication with the new federal administration, we have some families that also have political asylum. So those are primarily crossing U.S.-Mexico border and ask for political asylum, while their case is pending, so they have legal permission to stay in the United States, work, and enroll. Obviously, in California, we don't check immigration status, but they can live life just like everyone else until their case is decided. So those folks, unfortunately, also impacted. So their asylum applications are either delayed, their review is delayed, or often denied. So this is a new trend that we see. As I mentioned, GCC schools enrolled over 1,000 U4U students since 2022, and I have, I go to next slide really quick. So I'll show you a current enrollment. So this is what we have. Please keep in mind, those are people, the families or students, I should say, that came from Ukraine. It does not have any other countries here. So from Ukraine, as of today, as of like a few days ago, so we have 603 students. So I'm assuming most of them, if not all of them, came as United for Ukraine, just looking at their, so those are students that came February 22 or later, and the previous school was in Ukraine. So just kind of give it in perspective. So since we're not checking immigration status, this is our anecdotal way of getting data, and, but I think it's pretty accurate though. And as you can see, like the largest two schools are Syria Elementary and Syria Middle. Then we have Futures Highs with 65 students. COA, they have 281 at the elementary school, 118 at the middle school. We have 57 at Epic, and Gateway International has 45, and then CCCS has 31, across all of their programs. And I'm going to go back one slide. So I wanted to touch on the current challenges and issues that those families and students, primarily families, obviously, the adults are experiencing. Language and cultural barriers are very severe. Just because they came unprepared. Of course, nobody studied English. With our former colleagues, and I'm trying to be nice here from one charter that you guys are aware of, they offered a bunch of programs, but they're shut down now. So there's not a whole lot of places they can go for ESL. And we do have a solution. I'm going to show it in one of the next slides. But then also, I've mentioned that repo applications are delayed or not processed, and then it costs $1,000 for each family member to get a new parole. So this is new, came with the new federal administration. And the way it works, so there's a relatively small fee that family has to put up front to apply. And then, they get so-called, if they're like it, they get so-called conditional parole approval. It's conditioned upon them paying the fee, and there's a due date for them to pay that fee, and the fee is $1,000 per person. Obviously, the public benefits across the board, not only for this category, but you guys probably heard about CalFresh and Medi-Cal, so there's a lot of impacts on those programs. But immigrants and refugees are pretty much getting hurt with this quite a bit. Another situation in Slavic community, we do have quite a few people that work in trucking business as their bread earning. And again, unfortunately, a lot of new commercial driver's license are revoked or not renewed. And that's also impacting their job situation. And then employment authorizations, we see also that as the repo applications are delayed, so the employment authorization are delayed as well. So what we offer, first of all, I'd like to thank again GCC for the partnership with the Slavic American Chamber of Commerce, and we do have a team that works very closely with sites as well as with community engagement team with Maury and Paulina. So what we, and others, of course, what we offer at this point through Slavic American Chamber, we were able to contract with the State Department of Social Services, and we are providers, we as a Slavic Chamber, we're providers of Ukrainian Newcomers Support Program, also known as UNSP. So I do have three people working in this program. One of them, all she does is actually helping people with filing repo application. And we serve, up to this point, we serve about 200 families utilizing this program. A big chunk of them are coming from GCC or GCC-related families. So another program that we offer is CalAIM. This is part of the Medi-Cal. If people are on Medi-Cal, they're meeting other eligibility criteria, we assist them with housing navigation, enhanced care management. So housing navigation kind of speaks for itself. So basically we help people to secure housing, and that includes actually getting a housing deposit and some household necessity items, as well as the enhanced care management. This is something that, if folks have chronic health condition, adults or children, so we help them to navigate the healthcare system. So again, thanks to our partnership with community engagement, we are starting this week, actually on Thursday, we're going to have a job search workshop offered to all GCC families that will start at one of the training rooms with childcare offered. We, at this point, have 32 parents that already signed up. We had to close the application just because it's a good news. It's a good problem to have. which will be also paired up with ESL Club for Parents. So the workshop would be on Thursdays to help them to get, to be job ready, and then ESL would be on Tuesdays. And I'd like to also highlight our partnership with Dr. Gold and her team. So we did very successful workshop at EPIC. We actually put together a series of workshops. It was 7 or 8, I can't remember exactly, but one of them, Heather and her team led on how to successfully navigate school system in the U.S., how to be an effective parent. And we graduated 7 parents, and actually ended up hiring one of the mothers, so she's part of my team. Success story. And then I counted, up to point, we hosted 14 workshops, for parents and staff, and certainly planning to do more to the end of the year. Part of the workshops, what we do is cultural competency training, and that's, there's 2 sides to it. So one is for non-Slavic employees, teachers, and staff, how to work with the Slavic community, and then the other way around, how for our parents and families, how to be effective, with the American system and, address the cultural gaps there. Of course, I mentioned assistance with repo and employment authorization. We do it for free, thanks to our partnership with GCC and the state grant that we have. And, we're starting March 18th at Sierra Elementary with Director Gonchar. So we're starting a mental health workshop with Ukrainian-speaking provider. And she's a marriage family therapist that, will assist us with working with this population. And again, this is all thanks to the partnership that we have with you guys. And I just wanted to touch a little bit on supporting superintendent and GCC staff, but actually, sorry, I'll go back one. So one thing I wanted to elaborate, and this is something that I feel very strongly, is that, the people, the families that we serve that came as a result of the war, that United for Ukraine families and students, they require extra care, like extra care. And that is because of a lot of PTSD problem, and we know we have families that literally escaped the war zone, where like one of the mothers, and let's say it's the one that worked for me, so I heard her story, and that's like really heartbreaking. So her husband is, on the front line. I believe he's still there. And then, so she had to escape Kiev, in the beginning of the war with her 3-year-old son, and they were like, the convoy they were going, it was fired at, they got bombarded by airplanes. So it was a big mess. And she, I can tell she has PTSD still, Sorry, I'm not a psychiatrist, and I apologize if I put her on the spot. I'm not naming, but I mean, those are stories. Those are real stories. So our strategy is to provide as much care as possible to those families, and to be that community hub where really we meeting that goal of the community school program, where family can come and there's no wrong door. They get services. If we're not able to, if the site not able to serve, CED not able to serve, we can serve, or if we can't, if we have to refer them out, we have a vast network of partners that we work with. Okay, and then, just wanted to touch really quick on supporting superintendent and GCC staff. Once again, the cultural competency, I think this is a very important part. Marketing and outreach, this is something that really helps us to keep the enrollment going, and sometimes we think that, well, we don't want to spend that money to do marketing. We're doing well, hypothetically speaking, we're doing well with enrollment, but it is about presence. It is about being in the community, for being visible in the community. I think this is very important, and I want to thank superintendent and board president and the cabinet who devote their time and come to those radio programs. And I know it's you have to get up early and you have to go to radio. Who wants to be on the radio at 7:30 or 8 a.m. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for doing that. That really shows that dedication. And yeah, so and then, we do have a wonderful partnership with 3 principals, with Mrs. Gonchar, with Principal Diego and Principal Luevano, and really strategizing together how to serve the community and, how to cross-refer and, work together and be that hub, and I'm certainly looking forward to expand that partnership with other schools. Yeah, and then, providing technical assistance on the community school program and CYBHI, really something that, even though I retired, but I really feel very strongly about getting this to success and helping with that. And yeah, so thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, board members, it's time for questions before we thank Mr. Sergey.
Sergey, I really want to thank you. I've been asking for this information for some time, and just a number of things. What do you think is the possibility of them opening up the program again? I know the pressure is, what's going on in Ukraine is still happening. Do you have any sense of that at all?
And this is me speaking personally. I don't have any insight at the White House in D.C., but based on what I'm hearing, so as far as like letting more people in from Ukraine, I don't think it's likely. As far as like the people that are here already, so I think, again, this is my speculative opinion based on what I know. I think there's going to be, they're probably going to be able to stay here one way or the other.
Okay.
Well,
I could understand, I think, the apprehension in that community right now. Are any of them just giving up and voluntarily going back to Ukraine?
I've heard about few, but speaking out, I'm being out in the community, talking to people, and majority of them, they want to stay. And they had experience living in other countries like Poland, for example. There's quite a few of them live in Poland or Germany, and we're like, there's some advantages geographically. You're closer, you can go visit your family if you're a female. If you're male, you can't. But economically and in terms of like the job security, the prosperity, I'm like, I really like. They understand that this is the land of opportunity, basically. Yeah.
Well, finally, I probably didn't, maybe to clarify. So the $1,000 to apply to remain in the United States, is that for each individual or per family?
Individuals.
So if a family of 4, that would be $4,000.
Yes.
Are there agencies or groups that can support those families?
Yeah. There are no grants to support this, so basically, people go to churches or they work hard and put money away, or they ask relatives. I mean, that's a serious hardship. Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you, Sergey, again for the report. And I know you had it listed there, but what is your involvement with the faith community?
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, we work very, very closely with pastoral council, with the Slavic churches. So with all of them, occasionally I go there, and they know that I'm connected to GCC as well as I'm elected as in the county board of education in Placer. So we have that communication, but also we work closely with the Ukrainian church. It's the largest church in the area. It's called Spring of Life. So the senior pastor of that church, Mr. Vadim Dashkevich, so he's participating in the faith council that Superintendent is hosting, as well as we are in a very close contact with Bethany Church. We're closely with the senior pastor and their team. So Bethany also has large number of U4U folks, and as well as other churches in the area. So that includes, probably on a monthly basis, I meet with Dashkevich, for sure, with other pastors, maybe every other month or every 3 months, so there's always communication. And then our superintendent visited, I would say, majority of churches with a large Ukrainian population in the area. So thanks to Mrs. Gonchar and we took Jason around, and of course thanks to Mr. Semple for dedicating his time and going there. And again, this is really building those bridges and building trust with churches. I hope I answered your question.
You did.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, though, are the churches doing any outreach to the other religious groups, within Sacramento at all, or is it primarily Ukrainian, working
You
with
mean,
Ukrainians?
are you asking me if we're doing outreach, or is it more the churches, the
I'm trying to
Slavic churches?
understand if the Slavic, churches are trying to work with other pastoral groups.
Yeah, they
within
do have
Sacramento.
connection. They do have connection. There's some inter-ethnic groups where they get together. One of the great platforms we have here, so we had the pastors from different ethnic background attending Superintendent's faith-based leadership council. But there are some groups where they talk also. Some of the Slavic churches, they belong to larger association like Assembly of God, of course, and they go to like bigger groups. I would say for the most part, yes. I know the Soul Church, they're connected with Bayside and with a number of other churches, so yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, thank you for asking this question,
Any other thoughts? Any other questions? Hearing none. Sergey, it was a blessing when we found you and hired you to work with GCC.
Well, thank
I
you.
remember the day. And you continue to be a blessing to the people who really need you and to the programs and what have you. And I can't thank you enough
Well, thank
for
you.
what you do.
I feel blessed myself, yeah.
Yeah, and I use that word, and I hope it's understood that you're needed. And we thank you for the time you give to us, to GCC, the time you give to the school board in Roseville. I don't know how you do it, but we're so blessed that you're here and you are continuing to work with the superintendent and with GCC and to bring information and what we need to be doing in order to support you and our students and parents. So thank you
Thank you.
for everything you do. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Any other comments? Anyone? Thank you.
Thank you.
Superintendent? Anything? All right. So with that, and we'll tell you the same, if you need to leave to study for tomorrow, you may go.
Well, I have my daughter and son-in-law visiting from North Carolina, so I may.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, we will understand if you have to leave. Thank you so much. All right, so with that, we will continue to move into our agenda. And guys, we're down to consent agenda items. And let's see where we are. Okay, we have 8 items on the consent agenda. Adoption of the GCC Board Retreat Meeting, personnel consent agenda, purchases over $30,000, disposal and surplus, lease for 3612 Madison Avenue, North Highlands, approved board policy updates and new ones, approved revised school year calendar for Higher Learning Academy, you've read the reason why, and Futures High School, and approved schools field trips that we just got. One for Sava, Futures High School Wrestling Tournament, and Futures High School Hydrogen Grand Prix in San Pedro, California. These are the items on the consent agenda, and I will first entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Move approval?
Second.
Second. All right, any discussions, any questions, any comments on any of the items that we just mentioned here? Any comments? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call then. Mark Anderson?
Yes.
Harry Block, absent. Bruce Mandrick?
Yes.
Jack Turner?
Yes.
Lily Campbell, yes. So the consent agenda items have been approved unanimously by all of the board members present. Okay, and now we are ready to move into the item that we all been anticipating and reading about and studying, and that is approve, yes, the budget. Approve second interim revised budget and financial report. Are you ready, Mr.
I
Meyer?
am ready as can be.
That's a lead up there. That's a nice lead up.
That's nicely done. All right, as ready as you can be.
Good evening, Board President, board members, and Superintendent Sample, and our audience. I am going to present the 25-26 second interim budget report. I'm going to start off by some acknowledgements of our team. Our core team, our budget team is Ms. Valerie Rogers, which is here in our audience. Sofia Cornejo, Fiscal Services Supervisor, Cindy Ponikvar, and Mia Vang, which are our budget and financial analysts. This is the core group that works on getting this completely revamped and revised for our budget. Our Business Services Department also supports in terms of putting things together, holding off on questions when we're in crunch time, so that's always appreciated. They know when we're super busy. Our site staff, our directors here from Education Services, and our principals and clerks, they all contribute in terms of what's happening at their sites, so it's reflected in our budget. And of course, the Ed Services team is a crucial component of this work, and our HR team, which I don't have up here. I will put it on there in the future because they are also a component of the work that goes into this budget. Topics I will be discussing. I'm going to give you a brief introduction, LCFF assumptions, enrollment in ADA, our unduplicated pupil percentage, also known as UPP, our revenue, our expenditures, our fund balance, and then lastly, we'll talk about the risks and conclude our presentation. So our introduction of what the second interim report is, it includes your original adopted budget, which was approved in June, your board-approved operating budget, which is your first interim, which was approved in December, your revised budget, which is your second interim, that goes through January 31st, 2026. Your expenses, actuals are also reflected as of the same date as your second interim. This presentation will focus on comparisons between first and second interim budget revisions. As you know, you've already approved your first interim budget, so we will talk about the changes between the two. The first thing that I want to discuss is what assumptions we have for our LCFF. These are the assumptions based on the latest start board with the 2.3% COLA, our ADA base, span adjustments, supplemental add-ons, TK add-ons. This has not changed as a first interim, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details, just so you know what assumptions make up this budget. I'm going to discuss enrollment numbers. So as of first interim, we were at 5,911. For second interim, we're at 5,906 combined with all of our LEAs. That was a change of 5. And these are first interim numbers, are our projected numbers. Second interim are official CBEDS numbers. And we are currently, as of 3/6, at 5,982. So the ones that fluctuate right now are your independent study schools. So those have fluctuation from CBEDS. They can go up, then they come back down, then they come back up. So that is just to kind of show how volatile our enrollment numbers can be from what you have in front of you. From first interim, we're pretty close to CBED's number, so that's why you don't see a whole lot of change between first interim and second interim in terms of enrollment numbers. As you know, first interim is based on October data. Second interim CBEDs are taken in October, and so that's why you don't see a whole lot of shift. On the average daily attendance, we see a significant shift in the variance between first interim and second interim. The biggest change here is we have now P1 data. In addition to the P1 data being a new point since first interim, to be able to project second interim, we have implemented AB 181, and our attendance reflect current year actuals at P1, like I stated. which is accounted through the end of December, and updated projections based on strengthening program oversight, attendance accounting practices, and student re-engagement procedures. So that is very important. This is why we have such a significant shift from our first interim to second interim. I anticipate that our second interim numbers is going to be a new data point that we will continue to use moving forward. And so our numbers are going to be this lower ADA as a second interim moving forward. So just wanted to point that out, that we will not be going back and doing our attendance based on a 3-year mark or a 3-year average. Our unduplicated pupil percentages have pretty much maintained flat from first interim. As you saw, from adopted to first interim, there was a drop in UPP. Now between first interim and second interim, they're pretty, give or take 1%. The one that we do see uptick is CCCS. That one is an outlier because we do have a new program within that LEA that potentially could be causing that increase. And just to define for those who don't know what the unduplicated pupil percentage, this is used to serve our low-income English learners and foster youth populations. And so the organizations get an additional amount to supplement instruction. So from your base instruction, how much more do we need to serve these populations? I'm going to discuss our revenue numbers and our variances between first interim and second interim. Our ADA decreased, as I stated in the previous slide, to 328.73. That is equivalent to 5.5 million in LCFF revenue. And again, we used P1 data points to project our P2 numbers based on historic changes between P1 and P2. Our UPP has minimal changes since first interim. And then now we'll discuss our federal revenue. Federal revenue increased $561,000, and that is due to our School Improvement Award, also known as CSI. We do not record that award until we get it, and so that is the reflection of conservative budgeting at the beginning at first interim and adopted budget, and now that we have final awards, we are accounting for that. We also had some revisions to title funding, which we saw a little bit of an uptick, so those awards are always changing all the way through June, and so that is the reflection of those grants. Other state revenue, we have 449,000 decrease from first interim. Partly 256,000 of it is deferred revenue that's moving into 26-27. For CSI specific, well, this is state. So CTIG and Strong Workforce are the two programs that are deferring into the following year. Strong Workforce has a grant that expires at the end of next year. And CTIG can roll up to, I believe, 1.5 years or 2 years. So that is why some of those funds are being deferred. $93,000 reduction adjustments for lottery. So if your ADA goes down, then your lottery numbers are correlated with that, and your numbers will go down with it. The other program that we've gotten some preliminary numbers is the Charter School Facility Grant Program. That has a decrease of $64,000. That is likely due to over-enrollment in that program. So the more districts there is, the less money there is to go around. And so, not districts, charters. This is only available for charters. So again, it's about 75% of our leases for school-based or seat-based schools. So they give us about 75% to the dollar of what we pay in leases. There's an additional 29 K reduction due to revisions of the awards to the strong workforce allocation. So there was a new methodology that came into play that caused some realignments and adjustments to those grants. Local revenue has a small decrease of $4K. That's really a net impact of reductions and increases together. So we had a reduction to special education. Again, this one's based on ADA. So if your ADA is going down, your revenue is also going to reduce. And I've also brought down interest. As we're drawing down some of our beginning balances, our interest payments are coming in a little bit lower. So taking those two things into account, what I do want to highlight is that we have 2 new local programs that our Director Deep Dillon has been working adamantly to secure. So we have the school-based medical administrative activities, also known as SMA, and our local education agency billable option program, also known as LEA BOP. We have been working on ensuring to bring in additional revenues to pay for some of the mandated things we already do, and so this is additional funding that we're trying to secure and build out those programs. So that's 149, which is offsetting some of those reductions that we're seeing. Now we're going to move on to expenses. For certificated salaries and classified salaries, the explanation is the same. It's due to mid-year budget reductions, hiring freezes, right-sizing the organization, and some vacancies. And so it's a little bit of everything in that number. On the benefit side, we surprisingly see impact the other way, which typically you don't see. After I dug into the detail a little bit more, it's rising health welfare caps that we did. As you know, in October, they do open enrollment. It takes place in January, and so we're starting to see the impact of open enrollment in this number. In addition, I also looked at the differences of certificate employees paying into CalPERS versus CalSTRS. And so just truing up those numbers is the impact. As you know, CalPERS is a more expensive employer cost than CalSTRS. For books and supplies, we have a decrease of 459. That's us trying to scale back on non-essential purchases, coming back down to pre-COVID spending trends. And also, we've seen a lot of digital softwares taking over some of the physical textbooks, physical instructional materials that typically were historically in this category. Services and other operating, it has increased to 1.1. Part of that is contracts that we have to have in place for some of the vacancies. So if an IEP teacher or RSP teacher is vacant, we have to backfill, even if it's with the contractors. A lot of the times those are more expensive. Also contracting for classroom teachers that are critical to the instruction of students. We have to have somebody in the room with the students. We also have paraeducators for special education and for ELOP. And that's our extended learning opportunity program. For after school, they also have to meet ratios, and so that is why we contract out whenever we can't hire within. And again, just kind of piggybacking to the books and supplies, our digital curriculum softwares have shown an increase, so there's a little seesaw happening there with the books and supplies and the services. For capital outlay, we've decreased 231, and again, that's just scaling back projects at the independent study schools due to budget constraints. This is our fund balance. I want to point out that in total, we are net increase to decrease. We have changed 4.7 million due to the decrease in the LCFF revenue. As you saw, 5.5 was actually the revenue loss, in LCFF. Obviously, we've tried to mitigate some of that, not all of it, but that is the difference between the 5.5 and what we were able to accomplish between first interim and second interim. Our ending fund balance went down by that same amount. Our restricted resources are pretty flat, give or take 113,000 of spending less. That accounts for some of the deferred payments we talked about. And then the non-spendables, that's just your prepaids and your revolving account that have to stay stagnant. You see on your reserves, which is the highlighted green, the changes in the reserve caps. So for the facility acquisition, that is where we took the bulk of the deficit spending that had to happen this year. We obviously did not want to impact instruction as much, and we only had 4 months to cut. So from February through the end of the year is what we were able to save between now and then for next year we will be making adjustments. Our reserve for sustainability and your reserve for economic uncertainty also go down based on your expenditure. So that is a percentage, a direct percentage of your expenditures, and so obviously those numbers will come down. Some of the risks and just conclusion of what's on the horizon is we have the state has a projected deficit of $22 billion in 27-28 and shortfall totaling of $45 billion in 28-29, 29-30. So that is significant for us to kind of keep in the back of our minds that harder times are coming in 27-28. 26-27 looks like it's balanced. It doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of changes, but we got to prepare for that 27-28 year. What does that mean to us? That means deferrals. That means not getting paid back for settle-up money, which I'll talk about a little bit further down. That could mean cuts to other programs that are state funded. So those are important things to kind of keep in mind and things that are in the back of my head and our cabinets. Declining enrollment trends across the state. We're seeing that not only here, but across California. Stock market volatility, particularly due to concentration in AI-related companies. So we do have an influx of revenue due to stock market and AI-related companies. And so we think that that will flatten out eventually, but right now we're seeing an uptick. Federal policy uncertainty related to immigration, trade, and other economic priorities. Inflation, volatility, and potential impacts to Federal Reserve monetary policy responses. Medi-Cal costs and caseload pressures affecting both state and local budgets. Implementation of the settle-up methodology, including state reliance on Prop 98 borrowing, which raises concerns given the projected 27-28 deficit of $22 billion. So the settle-up is just a true-up of if they underpaid us from Prop 98 and they owe us money, they're going to pay us back. This is what they call a settle-up. We in accounting call it a true-up. So same thing. When the state is in trouble, they can push out what they owe us and not pay us back the next year. And so currently, we see this trend where we're now getting paid, a year and a half out. So that could even be delayed further if the state is in trouble financially and can't pay us, right? And of course, global conflicts that impact on the U.S. and the state finances, including effects on oil prices, inflation, federal deficits, and defense spending, which may shift federal fiscal priorities. And so that's important to understand and know, especially what's happening with the federal government in potentially closing the Department of Education at that level. Some of the wars that are in place right now are the Russian-Ukrainian war, Iran-Middle East conflicts, and Israel-Hamas war. So those are some of the wars that are ongoing and have an indirect impact to our fiscal, federal and state. And I will entertain any questions.
Yes, Mrs. Turner?
Omar, I really, again, want to thank you and your staff for handling the complexity of this budget. And I truly understand that it's just unique almost in the state of California and the accounts that you have to deal with. You know, I knew if I stayed on this board long enough, I would come to this point. I've been on the board for over 20-plus years. I won't get into the total number. But in that period of time, I've always dealt with a growing budget. I can't remember a time when I have seen such a drop in the budget. I think it probably reflects the reality that we're dealing with today. And I'm not sure if this was done on purpose or not, but it's interesting that we had the presentation on the Ukrainian student population, and I know I'm not alone in noting this, that it's probably something that we need to kind of work on to anticipate any of the contingencies, because we do not control what the federal government is going to, unfortunately, we do not control what the federal government is going to do. So I want to thank you, and I really think it was a difficult budget for you to put forth because it reflects a new reality for us. And I watched Jason's video the other day, and I think, again, you did a fine job on kind of pointing out that we are not immune from what's happening just a block down from us. And so, again, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
I just wanted to do what Mr. Turner had said. And Omar, I want to also appreciate the fact that you reach out to us individually when these reports are published so that we can have some one-on-one engagement, clarifying questions, et cetera. So I really, really appreciate the fact that you do that. I just wanted to thank her.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
I will ditto that also, but I want to especially thank you and your staff and all the other administrators and school sites that participate in that whole process. I think it's really great. You made the comment that you thought this year was pretty stable. Do you see anything in the May revise that might change things, or it looks pretty stable for this?
I think there's been comments about the COLA. The common message also cautioned us to not include the block grant, even though they've promised it in January, not to include that. So very conservative moving forward is the recommendation that our county office has given us. And yeah, rumors that it potentially could be up to a zero COLA.
And just to kind of add to some of that from the great minds at FigMet, Mike Fine, as he looks into the crystal ball, the things that have happened as of this past week has actually changed a little bit of some of the future projections, because now we have another global moment that is creating some economic uncertainty right now. So I think May revise is going to be a highly anticipated moment for us to see what's happening in the world at large. But, you know, it also speaks to, and this is something Omira shared with the board previously, we always felt that the governor's January budget was very rosy, and I think that was based on his own plans of the future. And so May revise is going to be more of a reality due to the global setting.
I think the other thing to point out is that we get a common message from our county offices in terms of where to kind of be conservative, what to kind of, you know, and these are LEA decisions, so I have those conversations with Jason, with Mr. Sample, and determine, you know, is it something we're going to remove from the budget? Are we going to be more conservative? So those are LEA choices, but they are in the common message that come from our county offices.
Okay, we thank you, but before I make comments, if everyone is finished with comments, we need to approve the second interim revised budget and financial report. So I will entertain a motion.
I'll move approval.
Move approval.
Second?
Second. Any other discussion or comments on the interim revised budget and financial report. Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, roll call. Mark Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Harry Brock, absent. Bruce Mandrake?
Yes.
Jack Turner?
Yes.
Lily Campbell, yes. The second interim revised budget and financial report has been approved unanimously by the board members that are present. And I want to thank you. We talked yesterday briefly, and we all are just anxious to see where we go from here. And so we depend, as I stated, we depend on you to keep us posted and the superintendent to let us know where we are and what we should be looking at. So thank you, thank staff, thank you for your hard work and your report. Thank you. Okay.
And also, I just want to publicly affirm Omira and her team for their hard work again. We've been spending a lot of time together lately as we are looking at how to, again, maintain a stable organization. And so I think I want the board to know, and Omira shares this with me, that the work that we're doing is ensuring our long-term sustainability. And so we have that confidence. And so I just want to make sure that I affirm Omira and her team for that work.
Thank you for your hard work again. All right, continue on with our board meeting. We are now at facilities. And under facilities, we have resolution authorizing the formation of Gateway Community Charter Schools Facility Corporation and authorizing the superintendent, CEO, to complete the necessary filings. And I will turn that over to you to explain or
Yes.
give us more information.
Thank you, Madam President. Members of the board, this agenda item is to officially approve a resolution that you will authorize myself as well as our legal counsel to proceed to file the necessary documents with the Secretary of State's office as well as with the IRS and the Franchise Tax Board to open the entity Gateway Community Charters Facilities Corporation. This corporation will serve as a holding corporation for the various facilities that the GCC owns. And this action would, in essence, authorize us to go ahead and start the paperwork process to file the necessary documents. So you're giving me signature authority to file the documents.
Move approval.
Move approval, okay?
Second.
And second, any other discussions or questions on this item? We received information, we've talked about it, so is there anything else that we need to know? Hearing none, this is a resolution, roll call again. Mr. Mark Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bruce Mandrake?
I'll abstain.
Mr. Jack Turner?
Yes.
Lily Campbell? Yes. So on a 3-1 abstention vote, this item has passed. And Superintendent, you are given permission by the board to do what is necessary. Okay? Moving now into the second item on the facilities, approval to enter into purchase agreement for 5839 Dudley Boulevard, McClellan, California. Would you like to
Yes.
comment on that?
So, Madam President, members of the board, this item is to move forward with the purchase of 5839 Dudley Boulevard, also known to us as Dudley C. This item is already a lined item in our budget, so this is not coming from our facilities reserves or others. Our CBO and I knew and pre-planned that this was coming down the road, so this is already budgeted. So it does not impact the reserve numbers that you saw previously. This is below asking, so we were able to negotiate a lower amount really due to the fact of the improvements that we have put in, and this adds to our long-term ability to keep serving students in the area. Finally, with the pre-enrollment numbers that Assistant Superintendent Okoye and Director Dillon are tracking, we will fill those seats I believe the grades that this includes, if I'm looking correctly, already has a wait list. So we will be able to fully fill the building.
Okay, comments? Any, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Now, are there other comments, any discussion, any questions at all on this item? Hearing none, I will have roll call to approve the purchase agreement on 5839 Dudley Boulevard, McClellan. Mr. Mark Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Bruce Mandrick?
Yes.
Mr. Jack Turner?
Yes.
Lily Campbell, yes. I'm sorry. Excuse me, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, board members. It has been approved, that item, Dudley Boulevard, McClellan, COA Elementary School. Thank you. All right. Okay, we are now moving into, I think that's it, until we enter into closed session.
Central Administration.
Did I see something?
Central Administration.
Central Administration, nothing? Personnel? Oh, okay. Why do I not have that?
No problem. So, Madam President, members of the board, this item under 10.1, which is the approval of Community Collaborative Charter Schools, CCCS's mature revision. Board, as you may remember, you did approve this item previously to submit our mature revision to the Twin Rivers Unified School Board. At that time, they were looking for us to do a better job, or not a better job, but they wanted more information, expanding the instructional programs, clearly articulating our Learn from Home program as well as our virtual and the differences in those programs. We have also, since that time, looked at the Madison Avenue lease that you approved tonight, and so we have added that to this mature revision so that all of these things will go to the district at one time. Our plan is, following board approval, we will submit this document to the district by the end of the week.
Okay. All right, so I will entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Move approval. Second. Any other discussion, comments, questions? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call. Mark Anderson?
Yes.
Bruce Mandrick?
Yes.
Jack Turner?
Yes.
Lily Campbell? Yes. I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay.
They're cheering tonight. They're cheering tonight.
Are we going to have to ask you to? All right, thank you. Thank you for your enthusiasm, all of you. Okay, so with that, we are getting ready now. Board comments. We have board comments. I need to make sure I don't miss anything there. Central Administration personnel. Board comments at this time? None at this time? Okay. Then we are moving into closed session. Conference regarding real estate negotiations pursuant to Government Code 54956.8. The second closed session, employee personnel matter pursuant to Government Code Section 5495.757. And closed session, anticipated litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9. So we will break for closed session and return with findings. Thank you. Is back after closed session, and no action, just information only, no action taken at closed section, just information. And now, board comments, any other comments from the board? Hearing none, seeing none. Anything else from the superintendent or cabinet? Nothing else. So with that, I will entertain a motion for adjournment of the...
The next board meeting?
Oh, the next board meeting, thank you. When is the next board meeting?
It's going to be April 14th.
April 14th is our next board meeting. Thank you very much. And be aware, board members, that we will be getting into end of the year activities for the closing of schools and what have you. So with that, I will now entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
So move and second. All in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.